separation itself is a concept.
When does that happen? When does it start happening?
It gradually, as we learn words.
Like immediately.
Yeah, and mommy and daddy and keep going and So you mean the life, our life which we experience today, even our social life and social order, and all the beautiful things which we experience is a result of millions of people before us contributing. And sometimes paying a very, very high price to bring us to this point, to this point in the evolution of humanity, to the level of life which is in many ways is so, we are accustomed to it, but it's so comfortable compared to how people lived before. So comfortable, so joyful, so easy in so many different ways. Yes, we create ourselves many new problems. That's why
pros and cons to that one, but
that's why we need to absorb our mind, to bring attention to our mind and to see how do we, where is the root of all those problems? On the personal level and on the social level. I mean, all the social problems which we experience, all the wars and disasters and poverty and hunger and, unrest everywhere. A lot of things, global warming, all of this is actually the root of it is in the personal problems.
Yes.
Right? And the personal problems...
It all starts with the individual.
The root and the personal problems, the root of personal problems is in personality. And what is the personality, right? So now we are paying attention to it. What is our personality? What is our self? So we came to the point when we talked about concepts, right? We talked about concepts, how concepts are concepts that are actually the tools to have a very rich experience of being alive may become a great obstacles.
Become great obstacles.
And they become great obstacles when they start wailing from us the deeper levels of our mind. So there's a conceptual level when we reason and logic, and we really, so many people, and as a society as a whole, we really mastered a lot of it. We call ourselves Homo sapiens. A man you would want to translate it as wise, But are we wise? Yes. In many areas, we are very creative, and we manifest. There are tremendous accomplishments of society and all, but we have these enormous problems. And now we have 2 nuclear powers with tens of thousands of nuclear missiles are at war with each other. Well, this is something.
At least
this is something
symbolically, seemingly so.
No, it is not symbolically. It's really. There's war going on right now. So there's a war not on the level of using nuclear power, but this is the war of nuclear powers. It's extremely dangerous. And that's why it's so important to all of us to see, to find right now the roots of where are the roots of those conflicts
The social.
which jeopardize our survival as humanity. So when you look at our conceptual structure, the conceptual structure covers from us just the experience of being alive. Experience of being alive is non-conceptual. It cannot be put in words. So if experience of being alive arises in you right now, then you may see for yourself that what you call past and what you call future lives on conceptual level. Past is articulated in words, and the future, the past is articulated in words, and the future articulated in words. So you can't experience past. You can only experience words about past. You can't experience future. You can experience only words about future. And words are not the experience.
Not the experience itself.
They are representations of experience. So if you see it really clearly right now, then experience of being alive suddenly, because there's a hole in the veil. There's a
hole in the mental construct of humanity. So you're trying to refer this from our individual experience to humanity as a whole, which has created all these problems that we are basically living with and possibly in danger of dying with.
Yes, and so now where we are with this process is that we may possibly now reach to deeper levels of the mind,
the core,
beyond the conceptual level.
Which has created all the problems.
That's
created our personal, individual misery and family, social, friends, or work level. And it's also created this horrendous problems in the world between nations and between, everywhere, globally, basically, from global warming to everything else.
And just simply starting with experience of feeling good about life. Ask yourself right now.
Exactly. Do people that feel good create wars?
Ask yourself right now. How do you feel? How do I feel about my life right now? How do I feel, say, on a scale from 0 to 100? How good do I feel right now? How good do I feel right now? You see? Maybe some of you are depressed. Maybe some of you are joyful. Some of us are joyful, some of us are depressed. It's all a spectrum, right? And we know that our experience of being alive, our feelings about life, how good I feel right now, it varies, right? If we have a problem, maybe we don't feel good that much at that moment. Then something happened, something good happened to us. Then we feel so good for
We're
a moment.
conditional. It's conditional. It's constantly
So
conditional.
basically, yeah, so do you see what I'm saying? That our feeling good is conditional. That's why
And that's the problem.
that's why the song is there. I can get no satisfaction. You know, satisfaction is conditional. In many cases, it's conditional on accomplishing certain goals.
And getting from A to B.
Yeah, so it's like projection into the future. You project something into the future, and immediately there's a loss of power. Because loss of, I mean, as long as you are here now, you are powerful.
Okay.
You are powerful because all power is with you. It's not invested into concepts. Right?
Concepts about the past or the future, or what do I do in
The concepts
future?
are the dissolution of your power, basically.
Dissolve your powerfulness.
What is the right word? It's not really dissolution, there's another word, more exact. It's the dissemination, what it is, yeah. The concepts disseminate your power. Disseminate your power. Disseminate our power. So, if we know words just as tools, yes, they are tools, they are not experience for sure. An apple is not the word apple.
It's the taste
not
of the apple.
an apple, right? It's not the apple itself. So there's a difference there. So as long as we know that words are tools, then our power is not disseminated into words. But we are not trained to see it for ourselves. A lot of times, words are taking us away from reality. And I would say most of the time, for most of the people.
Concepts are taking us away from experience.
From experience. And then we live a conceptual life.
We live a conceptual life.
And
we don't live an experiential life for the most part.
Yes, and that's why we don't feel good.
That's why
right now.
That's why people have to go travel to feel good, to experience something.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
they go on to a restaurant or entertainment of some sort.
Yeah, we are seeking. We constantly seek.
Because we're constantly lacking experience. Yeah. We're constantly seeking it because we're ultimately, fundamentally lacking it. So so how do we get to that state where we're not lacking it?
So a child,
where it's us, where it's completely us.
So a child, especially a baby, is not lacking experience because there's no words yet, and there's no dissemination of the power. Yeah. So all power, all the creativity, what I mean power, your creativity, your aliveness,
your God-given power.
So at the bottom, we are alive, there's a fullness of life in all of us, right? And that fullness of life didn't disappear from you growing up, right? No, you are just as young as you were a baby. But that youthfulness, that vitality, that creativity is just covered by those concepts in which that power is disseminated.
It's lost.
Yeah,
it's
it's like a little hose to which this power, which kind of escapes.
like a sifter.
Yeah. Escape. It's
Yeah.
constantly escape.
Okay.
So where can it go? It only can go two different places:
Uh-huh.
the past and the future.
Ah,
And the time itself is,
a concept.
of course, and the greatest invention
Ah.
of humans,
Ah.
of humanity.
The greatest invention.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
that's how we became humans. That's the time, the concept of the time allow us to plan for the future
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. How do you plan for the future?
and to have memories of the past. And those memories of the past, the knowledge, accumulated knowledge of the past, can do wonders for our life, right? So